We've taken in tens of billions of dollars in tariffs from China. Prices have not gone up, or they've gone up very little. China's paid for most of that, and I say paid for all of it. China's now had the worst year that they've had in 57 years, and they want to make a deal. We'll see what happens. But in the meantime, we're taking a lot of money. We haven't taken 10 cents in from China. If you look back over the years, it's been the other way around. They've taken from us. We never take from them. Now we're taking from them. So we'll see what happens. But we have a lot of money to help our farmers. Last year, I gave the farmers $16 billion out of tariffs. The year before that, because they were targeted by China. The year before that, I gave our farmers $12 billion. And the way we figured that, I said, how badly have our farmers been hit by targeting from China? And I was told they were hit to the tune of $16 billion. And I made up that 16 dollar for dollar to the farmers. So the farmers are extremely happy, and they also know, and they're warriors, they also know we have to do this with China. We can't let this go on. They were taking out $500 billion a year out of this country, including intellectual property theft, which was rampant. So our farmers will be helped. Nobody that we've done more for than our farmers. And they understand you have to win the war with. This is a trade war, trade battle. You can call it anything you want. And this should have been done by presidents before. The World Trade Organization's been a disaster for the United States. China has taken advantage of it and us, and that's not happening anymore. But
Huawei is accusing the United States of trying to infiltrate its company, snoop around Huawei. Do you have any comment on that?
No, it's a national security concern. Huawei is a big concern of our military, of our intelligence agencies, and we are not doing business with Huawei. It'll stop almost completely in a very short period of time. And we'll see what happens with respect to China, but Huawei has been not a player that we want to discuss, we want to talk about right now. We're not going to be doing business with Huawei. We're going to do our own business. You know, the old-fashioned way, we'll do it right from within the United States, which is what I've been saying for a long time. And by the way, speaking of tariffs, there are no tariffs if you want to build or make these products in the United States. There are no tariffs whatsoever. And people are coming back now to the United States.
Mr. President,
in large numbers.
Senator Deans and Senator Perdue just returned from a visit to China where they met with the Vice Premier, Liu He. Did you approve that meeting, and was it helpful?
I approved it, and my people approved it. China asked for the meeting. They have a lot of respect for Senator Deans and for Senator Perdue. So do I. They're friends of mine, and they're great senators doing a fantastic job. I knew about the meeting. I approved of the meeting. And all they did is say that we really have bipartisan support. If you look at it, and that the support is very serious, that we're not playing games. And that was the message that was given by Senator Perdue and Senator Deans. And it was given very strongly. They absolutely had my permission. And they also spoke to Ambassador Lighthizer and Secretary Mnuchin about the trip before they went there.
Was it helpful?
Well, they told me the attitude of China, and I think basically they said that China would like to do something. I know they'd like to do something. Look, they're having their worst year in many, many decades, as I said. They're having a supply chain that's being absolutely fractured and broken, which is very bad for them. They've lost 3 million jobs, and the jobs are moving to Vietnam and other places, including the United States, by the way. If I were China, I'd want to make a deal. If they do want to make a deal, we'll see if we can do a real deal, not a fake deal, like the fake media, a real deal, okay? What else?
Will a Chinese delegation come to Washington this month, Mr. President?
I can only say this. When you hear they have their worst year in over half a century, I would think they want to solve the problem. People have no idea. You know, we've created tremendous wealth in this country, in our country, since I've been elected. Well over $12 trillion. They've lost probably $20 trillion. When I assumed office, had my opponent won within 2 years, in my opinion, maybe less, China would have been a bigger economy than the United States, would have been bigger. Now we're so far ahead of them, it'll take them years to catch, and if we always have competent people sitting here, they'll never be able to catch us. We have a springboard. It's amazing what's happened. And let me tell you, if I wanted to do nothing with China, my stock market, our stock market, would be 10,000 points higher than it is right now. But somebody had to do this. To me, this is much more important than the economy. Somebody had to do this. We had to do it with China. It had to be done. And I'm not even talking about purely economically. I'm talking about in other ways also. And it was out of control, and they were out of control. So we'll see what happens. If they want to make a deal, they'll make a deal. If they don't want to make a deal, that's fine. But I can tell you, they're having one of the worst, I guess the worst on record, and they want to make a deal. And if I were them, I'd want to make a deal too, but we'll see what happens. Okay?